Earlier the 7 days is after the Sabbath. The Sabbath means zero time. Zero time, eh? Yeah. They took it to mean the 7th day, it meaning the 7th division. Alright. On Sunday morning, referring to AM 13,500 BC. Now that I would like to present the other chart. Now from this chart, what they are saying is they are starting at 13,500 BCE, right? And that now is zero, all right? So this is what they're saying after Sabbath, after this zero time, right? On Sunday morning, 18 a.m., which is 13,500 BC. Two Marys, well, I have to remove it back again. The two Marys they're making reference to here is here, AM, PM. That may sound very strange to people who read in the Bible. Remember, this is a morning half day and an evening half day. Is Mary. This is on the first, Mary the Magdalene and the other Mary. So you can say AM is Mary Magdalene and PM is other Mary. This is how you have to be able to identify these objects or characters. All right. So what they're saying, two Marys, AM and PM, went to tomb. Two Marys went to the tomb. What is the tomb? This is the tomb. The chart is the tomb. All right. Matthew 28:2. And behold, there was a great earthquake, for an angel of the Lord descended out of heaven and came and rolled away the stone and sat upon it. Ram entered the picture here. It is he started journey from first heaven, which is Satya Yuga. He rolled stone, meaning time of 14,000 years. And sat on it, meant he studied it. Right? Matthew 28:3. And his appearance was like lightning, and his garment as white as snow. Ram was appointed god of fire, god of time, lightning. Clothes white as snow is dhoti wearing. Right? Understand that 24 Hindu authors presented Bible verses from 3 gunas. 3 zeros identified as 3 Jesus. Now this 3 gunas is also the 3 Jesus. I put the name there, but the three of them is, so they have the name, which Jesus you're referring to. So it's 3 Jesus. I am translating Bible verses to identify 3 gunas. 3 zeros, 3 Jesus. This is digital. It is to transfer verses to numbers. So we are taking the Bible verses here now and finding the numbers here. And you will have to start to wonder why nobody cannot understand Bible if they do not know what they are reading. So what we're going to do now, we're analyzing how they construct this 3 of them now. So we're going to we'll concentrate on this for a while. Right. So but remember, we're translating the letters I'm reading here to the numbers there. This is the digital system. Now Matthew 28:5. And the angel answered and said to the woman, do not be afraid, for I know that you are seeking Jesus the crucified. Now let's see how it works. Ram constructing Jesus, 3 gunas, 3 zeros. This is 3, 1, 2, 3. There are 3 gunas, 3 zeros. Who was crucified. Now, crucified here meant 0. 0 time. So, as you see crucified, you mean starting from 0. 14 divisions, this is sattva. So, the 14 divisions here, I present here, and both of them is 14 divisions. The one that's starting with 0 is sattva. So, you can refer to that formula as sattva Jesus. Okay? Now, we're going to Tamas. Tamas is here. Okay? Right. Matthew 28:6. He is not here, for he has been raised. Even as he said, come see the place where he was lying. Now, pay attention. I'm reading these verses here, and we are translated to the digital system here. Right? Time 0. You see the 0 that sattva started? Is not here. 14,000 years has started. Come and see starting point number 1. Line at starting point 0. This is Thomas' formula. So this is Jesus Thomas. Okay? We're going to Matthew 28:7. Raja's formula here now. All right? Matthew 28:7. And go quickly and tell his disciples he has been raised from the dead. And behold, he goes before you into Galilee. There you will see him. Behold, I have told you. Time started at death, PM. PM will reach to the 12 hours at midnight. That we refer to that as death. PM 12 noon to 12 midnight. This is Rajas. Anytime you start in the evening, you're dealing with Rajas. So this is how we know this is Rajas, Jesus. Matthew 28:9, and behold, Jesus met them, saying, rejoice, and they came to him and took hold of his feet and worshipped him. Jesus Ram created 3 gunas. 3 zeros, 3 formulas of time. Time is feet. I explained that with when I was reading the Ramayana. Feet does not mean a man feet, it meant time. And they will refer to who feet, and that is his time of traveling. Now, in this, many people probably heard about this report after they buried Jesus, what happened, well, anyway, I will read it. Matthew 28:11. And as they were going, behold, some of the guard came into the city and reported to the chief priests all that had happened. While time, this is 2 Marys, huh? Yeah, this is time, 2 Marys. AM and PM passed. Ram told Holy Spirit about his invention. So it is Ram and the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit is 378 numbers. Okay? Or 378 members, right? And Ram told the Holy Spirit about his invention, meaning he's referring to the 3 zeros, right? The 3 gunas, right?
Good evening, and welcome to Sankhya Television. With me once again in studio with Mr. Lalchan Rampersad. And today's topic is Dharma and Dhamma. And I'm very interested in hearing what is this topic about. So Mr. Rampersad, once again, thank you for being here.
Okay, thanks for having me. Yes. All right, I'll go straight to it. Part 1. Dharma and Dhamma. Hello everyone. My name is Lalchan Rampersad. I am here to present a research titled Dharma and Dhamma. But first, I would like to thank authorities of Sankhya television for permitting me to present this research, Dharma and Dhamma. This research is to define 2 scriptures. Bible, this is the Bible here, and the Ramcharita Manasa, and to appoint everybody to review my presentation and state your opinions. You are judges in this research. Focus is on 7 sages. 7 sages are stated here in chart number 50. Right? And focus is on 7 sages. That is entity Ram. He is presenting teachings of his inventions by each stage. So each one of these sages is presenting the inventions by Ram. So we're going through it here now. Brief of chart number 52. Siddhantic calendar to CE calendar at 13,500 BCE. I want to draw archaeologists and everyone to chart number 52. That is it there. Hindus went into exile at 0 time. This is the 0 time I'm choosing here, right? Or 13,500 BCE, and continued until 12,000 years or 1500 BCE when they returned to India. Okay? It does not mean all left on exile at 0 time and all returned at 12,000 years. you must know that all were appointed as entity Ram, right? Travel to foreign lands and return to India after serving time were continuous. Returnees were given lands and money to construct temples in India. Challenges to date structures. This, from chart number 53. I presented 12 structures here in chart number 53. 3, 6, 9, 12. These are 12 structures. The challenge is to date when these structures were built. All right? Challenge is to date structures from chart number 53. From 0 year, starting from 0 year, or 13,500 BC, and confirm or reject anchor points on chart number 52. These are all anchor points. I presented anchor points at the last occasion, but I think I only used 2. But now all of these are anchor points. So you have to try to anchor the Siddhantic calendar to the CE calendar. I must let you know about these timelines on chart number 52. I am not the first person to reveal events from Siddhantic calendar. I am merely exposing history of cannibals hidden by Max Muller and how he stole Hindu history to create a history for cannibals. Literal history of Christians and Catholics were cannibalism. To understand AIT, that is the Aryan invasion theory, cannibals have in their possessions precise time of Hindu history, which means that they have this time. Hindus have no knowledge of time. Cannibals present 1500 BCE this year, right? Aryan invasion. Hindus reject. Cannibals present Aryan invasion, Aryan migration. Hindus reject. Cannibals present a gradual migration. Hindus reject. They still do not have knowledge of time. 1500 BCE. This is the most hotly contested time here, 1500 BC. So you can concentrate on that. Sorry about that. So cannibals present a gradual migration. Hindus reject. They still do not have knowledge of time. 1500 BC. So this, we have been pointing on this 1500 BC and the 12,000 years at this time. Okay? Cannibals continue to change events and locations, but are holding on tight to Ace of Trump. So I refer to this as the Ace of Trump. 12,000 years and 1500 BC. Time, 1500 BC. Hindus have no knowledge of time and history of Ramayana. Cannibals refer to Hindu scriptures as mythology, but they hold on to literal history of scriptures, 1500 BC. Many pundits and other Hindus have stated that scriptures are mythology. They have no knowledge of our scriptures. Ramayana is literal history. Let's look into findings of cannibal Max Muller 150 years ago into Ramcharita Manasa. That's this book here. And how our Hindu scholars and pundits have no knowledge of this scripture to this date. I keep repeating to refrain from teaching Ramcharita Manasa if you are not qualified on subject. All right. Now we're going through the timeline here, and this now will give you an idea of what Ramcharita Manasa is all about. Now, Ramcharita Manasa and Bible are Hindu books and are based on a timeline of 14,000 years, chart number 52. So I present the 14,000 years here, okay? From this chart, I will show how authors created a fixed timeline to construct scriptures of 12 buildings. That is chart number 53. That's why. So the authors present a fixed timeline for this 12 structures. So we are going to find out about that. All right. Now I separate the timeline here. We're dealing with 0 to 4,000 years. That is 13,500 to 9,500 BC. Bible in Ezra and Nehemiah, we're referring to that chapters. Construction of 3 pyramids. No work was done for first 4,000 years. No work. Right? Ramcharita, Manasa, same pattern was shown. No work was done on 12 buildings for 4,000 years. Right. 2. That is this timeline here. That's 4,000 to 7,000. 4,000 to 7,000 years. Ezra and Nehemiah present first pyramid Khufu. That is their first pyramid Khufu. And this is a picture of Khufu pyramid. They present a timeline for constructing this pyramid in Egypt, right? And the timeline they present there in Ezra and Nehemiah is 3,000 years. So that is what you will get. Now, this is picture of the 3 pyramids. So this one is making reference to Khufu's pyramid. Okay? Now 2. No, I'll finish it. 3. 7,000 to 10,000 years. 7,000 to 10,000 years. Okay? All right. Yeah. We're looking at that. Now Ezra and Nehemiah presents first pyramid presents second pyramid Khafre. This is Khafre pyramid here. Completed in 3,000 years. Ramcharita, Manasa shows same pattern, but they are constructing 4 buildings of the 12. So that is why I have 4 buildings here. Of 12 were constructed in 3,000 years. 4, we're going to 4. 10,000 to 11,000 years. Ezra and Nehemiah present third pyramid. That is it here. Third pyramid. This is this here. Completed in 1,000 years. Ramcharita, Manasa shows same pattern. 4 buildings constructed in 1,000 years. I put the 4 buildings here. Now, number 5. The timeline of number 5 presents 11 to 12,000 years. Now, I made mention to this verse in a previous video, but I'll repeat it. Page 797 and verse 7 of Ramcharita Manasa state Ram ruled for 11,000 years. So there where you have it now, that the verse is stating that he ruled for 11,000 years. Now page 804 verse 3, verse state that Ram would rule for another 1,000 years, meaning it coming to the 12,000 years. So you have there a timeline of 12,000 years. Okay? Right. Now in this within this 12,000 years, the last 100 years is called a horse sacrifice celebration. Now, page 798, verse 8, verse 8, 100 years. Horse sacrifice. 12,000 years to 1500 BCE. That is what it means. End of literal history of Ramcharita Manasa. Right? Ram left the Lanka. Just remember, this is the point where Ram left Lanka to return to Ayodhya, India. Right? So there where you have the literal history of Ram. Part 2. 4 cardinal points, 12 buildings. All right. Ramcharita Manas is comprised of 8 chapters. This book is comprised of 8 chapters. I will present a brief of 8 chapters so people can understand what this book is all about. It is far, far away from what everybody is teaching because they have no knowledge on that book, right? So first chapter is Bala Kanda. In last video, I presented 2 topics from Bala Kanda. That is origin of Ramcharita Manasa, that is this book, and 2, 7 Rams and 7 Sitas wedding. So that is what is in Bala Kanda. Now we're going to chapter 2 of Ramcharita Manasa. This is Ayodhya Kanda. Ayodhya Kanda is the time machine, is a calendar. complete chapter is based on Rama's inventions. In last video, I presented time machine by Ram from Bible. In Ayodhya Kanda, time machine is presented. Time machine is calendar. There are two small topics here that is interesting. If you want to find the time of the day, the one day, which is 24 hours here, they present 24 boons. That page 258 to 277, you will find that. Means they're referring to the 24 hours per day there, right? And also chessboard. The chessboard invention is mentioned in Ayodhya Kanda, and you'll get that from page 292 to page 293. You'll get the 32 pieces and the 64 squares. That is what comprises of the chessboard. Now, I want to go to a topic that everybody is aware of in the 1 year of the timeline here. This over here. There's the 1 year. Now, this is using the Raja's formula to construct 365 days in the time machine, right? So in this topic is everybody is familiar with it, with Ram leaving to go to the forest and Bharat following after to meet Ram in the forest. Okay? Now when you go to page 304 verse 2 and 305 verse 1, it refers to dark night, meaning Ram left in the dark night. This is it here. He left at PM, right? Then Ram entered at evening, meaning the same thing. They have a few verses. They have a few verses there with that, right? Now, what they show now, Bharat leaving to meet Ram in the forest. Now, they have a few verses there. Page 367, verse 6, mention that Bharat to leave next morning. This is how you leave out the first division and start in the morning. Right? Now, page 371, verse 2, Bharat halted first day, meaning he did not enter AM in the first division. AM, first part of first division, he did not enter. So did they use the word Bharat halted on first day? That means halted on first division. And entered on second day, AM, on second division. Right? Page 371, verse 4. Bharat resumed journey at daybreak, meaning he started at AM on the second division. AM on second division. Now when you go to page 426, verse 5, verse confirms Bharat passed first day, first division, and continued next morning in second division. Now page 452, verse 6, state on sixth day, meaning the sixth division. That's why I said that day means division. So you check sixth division here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what it is saying here, that Ram is at sixth division in PM, that is at night. Okay? So, page 458, verse 6. Next halt was made by Rama. So, he stopped here, PM, on 6th division, 334.23 days. Page 461, verse 1, Bharat presented Ram with his sandals. What the sandals referring to or indicate, he gave him the 30 days or 31 days to complete 1 year or a leap year. So this is the construction. That whole story is the construction of present the timeline of the year. You understand? So this is what it is. It is the construction using Raja's formula. Ayodhya in this context, you will see they're talking about Ayodhya in this context is 365 or 366 days equals 1 year. Part 3. Sage. 12 disciples, 12 tribes, Bible. Now, that is it referring here to this 12 buildings, 3, 6, 9, 12. All the names of the buildings are written here. I put some from the Ramcharita, Manasa, and some from Bible, and even using these names that are present right now. Okay? Now, the sage is instructing you to follow 4 cardinal points to locate each building in its name. This is what it is in your Ramcharita Manasa, that Ram is directing you to go to each of these buildings. So every chapter he is presenting that. Okay? This is Ram guiding you to buildings he constructed and stated in Bible and Ramayana. 12 buildings are in Middle East and Europe. If you check, you will see these are the Middle East here. And that is Europe in Rome, Greece, and Turkey. 12 buildings, right. Find cardinal points to find buildings. Now the clue for finding these buildings in the scripture is the cardinal point. So you have to find east, west, north, south. And if you don't find it, they will have it some clue for you to find it. This is how the book was made. This is how the writers wrote the book. So this is how you have to look for it. This is all science and history and mathematics. So people reading this thing must know one time that is not a religious book. Right? Now, we're going to chapter 3, Aranya Kanda. Aranya Kanda states very clearly, south. The verse giving you that is page 496, verse 3, towards south, meaning Arabia, the Arabian Peninsula. Right? So you know one time the referent is taking you to these buildings where he constructed, 3 buildings. All right? Now chapter 4 is Sundara Kanda. Sundara Kanda is here, west, where they construct the 3 pyramids. This chapter is same as Ezra and Nehemiah of Bible. 3 buildings constructed in 11,000 years. Now let me see how I can get this here. All right. Now, I just want everybody to understand this timeline here that is presented from Sundara Kanda, and that lines up exactly as Ezra and Nehemiah for the 3 pyramids, right? And when you check page how to check the timeline, what building were completed, you will check here all the pages I present and the timeline they use in a base of 1,000 years for 1 day or 1 division, and you get in all that the same exact timeline that I presented in this chart. Okay. Now, how to know that you're dealing with the 3 pyramids here. They give a clue that you're back against the sun. This is page 527, verse 3. With your back against the sun, you could be traveling east or west, depending on which direction you take. Okay? So if the sun is at the west and you're traveling east, the back will be on your, the sun will be at your back. And if you're traveling west and it's sunrise, the sun will be at your back. So it could be east or west. Now, page 531, verse 3 states winging towards sun is to follow the sun, meaning from east to west, because the sun moves from east to west. So you know that you are dealing with, although they did not mention west, you're dealing with the 3 pyramids there. Okay? Now, page 531, verse 7 refers to these 3 pyramids here as Mount Trikuta, city of Lanka, west 3 pyramids, right? So I showed the 3 pyramids just now, so I don't need to show it again. All right. Something like upload the wrong page here. All right. I can follow the page in the front. Yeah. Now are we dealing with Sundara Kanda. Now Sundara Kanda is north, right? And this is one of the most interesting chapters in your book. For thousands of years they're reading this, and the author has fooled everybody. And you can see that the author is trying to make this place appear as an ocean. So he named the tree building Ocean. The readers upon it take it to mean Sri Lanka, the sea between India and Sri Lanka. The three buildings are referred to as ocean, right? And that is north. Okay. Now they even they refer to 571 verse 4. They dry up the ocean, meaning you're talking land, right? Now, one of the strangest thing is that they present Hanuman as a monkey to be doing everything. In page 571 verse 7 state very clear, disguised as monkeys. What are they saying? Hindus climb the buildings looking like monkeys, because all these buildings were tall buildings, you know. So I don't know how they end up now. They tell you that these guys as monkeys, but them talking about monkeys building this bridge and buildings. Okay. Now page 577 verse 1. Plan is for what is planned for monkeys to cross over ocean? Monkeys in this case is humans, you know, the workers, you know, Ram, the members of entity Ram, right? To make roads to three buildings in north. So crossing the ocean, meaning from one, the name of the three buildings are the ocean. So you're crossing from one to the other, meaning you're making a bridge from each to each building. All right. Page 577 verse 2. Two monkeys could float mountains upon waves. Look, I see they're still showing that they're showing them. I don't know if you saw that they're floating rocks and showing how they could float rocks and then they make the bridge. Well, here what happened. What it means, two Hindus hired to construct roads to three buildings, meaning the lands. This is what it means, right? Page 577 verse 3, bridge ocean to three worlds. That is what they're saying, eh? Meaning the three buildings, three worlds are the three buildings. Page 577 verse 6, plan is to bridge ocean, bridge three buildings with roads. What they're trying to tell you is connect the three buildings with roads so that they can construct the building, right? And page 577 verse 4, Rama connected ocean to other buildings in northern coast. So he's telling you, they give you the cardinal, the cardinal point here is northern coast, meaning north. This is in Europe, okay? Ocean is three buildings in north. So you get the exact cardinal points to know which buildings they're talking about. Now chapter 6, Lalchan Kanda. This also refers to north. But what is this? Yeah, page 679 verse 7, we refer to Lord's words. This is the Ramayana book. The Garuda constructed. Page 679 verse 2 to 3, chariot, Ramayana book Garuda, directed to fly north. This is spiritual world. So chapter 6 is dealing with the spiritual world of lies. Okay? So when you're reading that, know that is the spiritual world. Now, number 7, Uttara Kanda. The Uttara Kanda deals now with Uttara Kanda deals with this 100 years. Chapter presents for each 35 years of horse sacrifice festival, Ram traveled once at each building. In 100 years, Ram traveled on average 3 times each at 12 buildings. So you're getting that from Uttara Kanda. So this is literal history. You see what I was talking about, literal history? This book is telling you how to find the buildings and when, giving you a timeline of when it was constructed. Right? I present some other timelines and things there, you know. Now, what happened here? Like, in Lavakusha Kanda. Yeah, chapter 8, Lavakusha Kanda is east. The code for that is the east, but in this chapter, what has happened here, they did not specify the cardinal points. But how would you find it? you go to page 849 verse 4, and they state Bank of Sarayu, meaning the meaning east, they did not say east. Now what they're telling you, Bharat is at south, meaning Bharat, referring to this tree building of Arabia, is on the right. That is, you're heading from west to east, right? Shatruga, left, that is North Rome. And the rear is Egypt, 3 pyramids west. So Hindu authors presented location of 3 buildings pointing to east as a puzzle. You have to solve puzzle. So this is the puzzle I gave you, that this Bharat is right, Shatruga is on left, and the pyramids in the rear, which is west. So that means you're heading to the east. Okay? All right. Now, in this topic, BCE to CE, BC, this is BCE right here. What do we, yeah, I call it, but in other words, you're using what we will talk here, 12,000 BC, to connect to CE calendar. This is chart number 52, right? Now, let's see how Max Muller and the cannibals, I have to call them the cannibals, found all of these timelines, and the Hindus have no knowledge about that, and they take it from their own book. So I'm going to show you how Max Muller found the timeline in this book and Bible, and made his anchor points just like how I have it there. Okay? Right. So let's see how Max Muller found anchor from Ramcharita, Manasa to Bible. 12,000 years, again, we concentrate to 13,500 to 13,500 years to 0 CE. So we're looking at making the jump from the 12,000 years after Ram left to go to Ayodhya. So how did he get to 13,500 years? Okay. Now I stated that Ram ruled for 11,000 years. Well, he found that in the Ramcharita, and then he will rule another 1,000 years. That means, so he got that from the Ramcharita Manasa. How is he getting this anchor point? That is what we're looking at here. Now we must use the Bible too, because the Bible have the anchor point. So here what happening? Luke 2:42 state Jesus 12 years old. You know they always say Jesus is 12 years old. When he was 12 years old, he left. Well, anyway, Jesus 12 years old, Ram 12,000 years. Because the calculation is that days are 1,000 years, right? Meaning he went to horse sacrifice festival. Ram, Jesus went to the horse sacrifice festival at 12,000 years. Now, this is from Bible, that is Luke 2:42. Luke 3:1 states 15th year. Now 15th year, this is where Max Muller got it. The 1500 years to 13,500, meaning use a ratio of 100 to 1. And this 100 to 1, you will get it in Genesis 26:12. A year equals 100 years, right? Now time 13,500 year. This is 0 CE calendar. This is where the CE calendar began. All right. Now, in 1500 years, from 12,000 years, 13,500 years to 0 BCE, to end of Tiberius' rule. This is stated very clear in the Bible, but people misunderstanding it. The Tiberius' rule, end of Tiberius' reign, he ruled for 37 years. So you have 37 CE. So in Siddhanta calendar, it will be 13,537 years, right? And then another 40 years, which is presented that I didn't put the verse, but nevertheless, this 40 years will take you to 77 CE. This is the time of the Exodus in Bible, literal history of taking the Hindus to Rome. They present an Exodus somewhere else. So they must come and prove to me. They put it 1600 BC, and I want to know where they get that date. Now the time here now is 13,577 years, is what we call the end of Bible history. Okay? This is how Max Muller found anchor to Siddhantic calendar. Right? Now, I continue to repeat that Bible is a Hindu book. Did anybody, any pundit heard that? It appears they never hear that, because somehow it went straight through and they don't know. Bible is a Hindu book. Now, Max Muller and cannibals are aware that Bible and Ramcharita Manasa are literal history and written by Hindus. Pundits constructing a headless child with elephant head. Historians dump his history books and searching for the history. So the historians are in this quagmire. In that, he dumped these books and he's searching for history, and the history is in these books. So I don't know. Somebody seemed to they have the compass completely off. Yeah. All right. Now I will just make a thing here, because you see, I want to make a point here. Genesis 6:1-2. Now I stated that I don't know if you recall when I said that that Max Muller stated that in northern part of India the Hindus were fair skin. How did they get fair skin? You can recall what I said? They got married to cannibals. Yeah, now this is stated very clear in the Bible. And Genesis 6:1-2. When men had begun to be plentiful on the earth, and daughters had been born to them, the sons of God, referring to Hindus here, looking at the daughters of men, saw they were pleasing, and so they married as many as they choose. So this verse is given. Other Bible will tell you that fair skin and what not too. But this, I read this one. So this, now you get in the literal history from the Bible. How did the Hindus get this fair skin in the northern part of India? Because this is where the Hindus were coming back. This is Ram coming back to India. Okay? Now, buildings and language is a little bit lengthy, but you can get that in Genesis 11:1-4. Let me see if I could read anything here. Yeah, throughout the earth men spoke the same language with the same vocabulary. Now as they moved eastwards, he gave you a cardinal point, meaning that the first place they went to is Damascus, east. Okay? They tell you see, all these are clues to understand where the location, right? They said to one another, "Come on, let us make bricks and bake them in the fire." Now, I'll present this is Baalbek here. These are Hindus constructed that, and they're telling you that they're baking bricks or whatever it is to construct building, right? For stone they use bricks, and for mortar they use bitumen. They're telling you all these things. Come, they said, let us build ourselves a town with it, and a tower with its top reaching heaven. Let us make a name for ourselves so that we may not be scattered about the whole earth. Now, this is the Hindus building this. The Romans claiming, Roman column, you know that as you saying, they were dumb people. The people with stone engineering were Hindus. I don't know what historians reading or pundits reading. Now listen to this one now. Now Yahweh came to see the whole town and the tower that the sons of man had built. They're referring to the Hindus as sons of man. So they are all a single people with a single language. They tell you that they went with one language. The language they went with was Sanskrit. Said Yahweh, this is but the start of their undertaking. There will be nothing too hard for them to do. Come, let us go down and confuse their language. This is how they carry language to teach, because you cannot teach Sanskrit to cannibals. They did not have a language. So you have to look for a simple way to make a language to them. This is why they made so many languages. Every region they go different, and when they came back with those languages. So this will give you an idea of the history at that time. Okay. Now I want you have to understand that the Christians making all kind of preposterous claims about so much and so much thousand BC. Let me tell you what the Christians and Muslims and all of them in that area were cannibals. And at 12,000 years, they were not wearing clothes. They carry clothes for many occasions and they're taking out the clothes. Now, they give clothes to cannibals. Now, they call them dead people. They must know that these people and them are called dead people. And Jesus raising them from dead meaning you have no knowledge. You have absolutely no knowledge. So, to raise you from the dead is to give you knowledge. So, the Hindus teaching them knowledge, right? People could go to Lazarus. Lazarus is a very popular subject. And you can check 12 days in Lazarus. From John 11:6 to John 11:43 to 44. The 12 days meaning 12,000 years. And what the story of Lazarus is that he came out of the tomb, meaning he finally make up his mind, meaning that's the entity of the cannibals, to wear clothes. But he's still taking all the clothes and running around naked. This is Lazarus, right? In Ezekiel 32:1, they show you how they teach them to fish at that time with net, right? In Revelation, they talk about them, they're poor, naked, and blind, right? So you must understand, but this is remark making at 12,000 years, Siddhantic calendar. That's here. And 1500 BC. So you have to know that they had no knowledge from 1500 BC. So you can start their history from them that time. Instead of them making a set of preposterous thing and they take our history and reading for we. Right? Page 757 verse 7. They continue to say that the Chinese made silk clothes. The Ramcharita Manasa have silk comes from a womb. So I just put on that, but all the inventions are in there. Linen cloth too, right? If you want to find out when the Hindus meet these cannibals in Rome, you go to chapter 16, like 13,500 BCE. So people reading these books, they must be qualified or refrain from reading. Both of them is our history. And both Hindus and Christians, well, you can't depend on Christians to highlight your history, because he take it and take it, that's his own, right? Now, I want to make a point here. You have any questions? And then we can, I have 1 or 2 points, I could always make it after.
No, go ahead and make the points, because the question could come after.
All right. Okay. Now, I want to make a point with Ram's sculpture at Ram's Jamabhumi in India. You know, they pick a ram statue to put into the temple.
Yeah.
Right. You know, you ever see the statue? You ever look at it?
The new ram statue, the baby?
No, not the baby. The ram statue in the temple itself, where they put.
Oh, no.
All them years, you haven't seen that?
But probably I see it. And
the sculptor hired to construct sculpture. The sculpture of Ram appeared to make a sculpture of himself, which looks like a lazy and dormant Hindu, far away from the muscular and energetic Ram described in Ramcharita Manasa. This sculpture is classified as a Dhamma Hindu, because he did not make a statue of the Ram described in this book. You see? So everybody, something appear like if they make it, they're doing their own thing, but they have no knowledge what they're doing. Now, do you know how the origin of the white race came? The white people? Because you know the origin of humans is from Africa. At least that is what we know. Okay? And that is a black man, an African. Is the first human on earth. So how did the white man come?
Well, I think what it says from the migration and the climate cause a mutation.
Well, yeah, they make all that, but that will make opinion of most scientists are that origin of humans were from Africa, but Africa is of the black race. Question: what or where was origin of the white race? My research shows that the white race was created from the black race. It was creation by incest. Incestuous relationships are creation of albinos. Albinism is cause of white skin. this is creation of the white race. There are many albinos at this present time from which I base my research. Do you know you've seen many albinos around? The people where they break out with the albinism by the lip.
Yeah, one or two. Yeah.
Watch it carefully. That is the origin of the white race.
We went to Guyana and saw albino Indian.
Yeah. This is the origin of the white race. Albinism. Yeah. So because that is how you get the white skin. Europe and Middle East. I want to make a point here. In this research, I want to make it very clear. Peoples of Europe and Middle East does not have any valid history written pre-CE or in BCE era. All events stated in history were extracted from Bible. Christian scholars were unaware that Hindus wrote Bible with literal history and accurate time. It was Hindus who constructed CE calendar. The only history of these two peoples was that they were cannibals. Both books make the statement very clear. The only history they have is that the Hindus, when the Hindus met them, they were cannibals. And when they left them, they were cannibals. They didn't break out of that bad habit. Right? Failure to understand Bible dates. They constructed fictions and times of events to create a false history for themselves as literal. So they are not aware that they have literal time here, history. So many of them, I stated many in the past, how they construct, they have the time in the verses, and they construct a time other than that. Now Rome occupied India 500 years. I made a statement like that previous. I don't know. I don't see anybody even make it. Now this research is to present Rome occupied India for 500 years. No historian has ever highlighted this history. 24 Hindus presented 0 to 77 CE. 0 to 77 CE. Literal history of Rome destruction in India. Literal history they presented how the Romans destroyed India in that 77 years. No historian, not even the Hindu, have any knowledge of that. Now, 2 Chinese travelers stated that wherever they went, they saw destruction. They traveled around 400 to 500 CE. Muslims of today are accusing Hindus of destroying Buddhist temples. Hindus are dumb on this subject. The Hindus cannot respond. They have no knowledge that is Romans come and destroy their country. Judgment. Dharma and Dhamma. What is your opinion here now? Now we choose, and you have to choose. Who was the dumb people I was talking about and who is the dumber?
How you mean?
On from this, because here what happening? We must classify these people according to their rank here now. What you reading and how you reading, so we can classify you. Whether you're dumb or you're wise.
Between the Europeans and the Indians, you mean?
All, anybody. Let's go
I think the Europeans, based on your research, the Europeans are the dumb and the Indians is the dumber.
Okay, well, all right, you make a thing, but let me make my my judgment here. 1, dumb classification. All those who teach a false history of Ram. This is literal history of Ram. So who is teaching a false history of Ram is a dumb. You classify him in a dumb classification. Right? 2, the Dhamma classification. All Hindus who left Hinduism, they have no knowledge of history, Hindu history, and they go to another, like Islam or Christianity, and they do not know that history. So they don't know this and they don't know that. So they become the Dhamma. They fall into the Dhamma classification. And the wise classification is number 3. Cannibals who had no knowledge at all stole the Hindu history from these books to create a history for themselves. They have your history written by our Hindu ancestors and can read it, and you cannot read it. So they fall into the wise classifications at this time. Until the Hindus could read their book and get proper dates and know the history, what we ancestors present, only then we can classify, make a new classification. for dumb, dumber, and wise. All right, now there we can get some questions for you on that, on this subject, on this research.
One of the last things that you mentioned was the Rome occupied India for 500 years. That in the Bible or the...
No. What I'm saying, remember Bible history, complete from 77 CE.
Yeah.
Ramayana history, I explained that before too, complete at 1500 BC or 12,000 years.
Yeah.
So they cannot give you no literal history after that date. Okay? Yeah. And likewise the Bible. The Hindus come and they present from from 0 CE to 77 CE and present the literal history of that time. So there where you have it now, they have, this is how you get your literal history. I mean, I made many in the past. There like many things that from you'll get it in the Maccabees. You'll get them dates. All right.
Yeah, but the mention of the Romans in India is from the modern history, that the Roman history or something.
No, well, as I said, no historian have made statement of that. Even the 77 history that the Hindus wrote in the Bible that they're destroying in India, you know. Because it's from there they took them, and this is the Exodus that them coming. That they carried them to Rome. Right? Now, they were destroying India from the onset. The reason why they stopped, because the Arabs rise in the Middle East and the trade route stopped. This is what stopped that. But what we are saying here, that 500 years that they were, if you go in the history book, you will see they have, they trade in 500, 200, 300 ships per year. Romans never trade with nobody. You will leave quite Europe to come to trade with the people in India. They're killing you and eating you and thieving everything you have.
Yeah.
So this is what they were looting India, and these stupid Hindus down in the south there, what is that? I call them the Skullwell people. They, a disciple of Jesus went there. What's your name? Yeah. He visited.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they make us, the Hindus make us sorry, the cannibal make us sorry for him. He making us sorry for you. And he have a history that, yeah, they came. What is it? Disciple Thomas. You understand? So he make a story for you to convert the other Hindus. Yes, the disciple of Jesus came. These people are traitors. I can tell any one of them that none of them will reply even to my video. None of them have any knowledge of history. They're only reading a story from what somebody else wrote.
Yeah. I was kind of interested as you were going along because, you told me before we'll skip through. And you skipped through plenty pages.
Yeah.
So I have the stuff I was watching that...
Anyone you want to mention, no problem.
But, okay, so as the story is going along, it have different... One thing I was confused about then is that when you're going through the different kandas, is the code running in parallel, so you have different ways to read.
No. I explain it to you. I explain it there. Oh no, right. It's here. Right. What is happening here? Each kanda, each chapter, you can do the same. Right. You can look for each day or night or whatever it is, and you apply 1,000 years to it. You will get, like for instance, you start there. You will get this 4,000 years. That's just like I explained it right here. The 4,000 years that no work. Then you come now. You have the 3,000 years, 3,000 years, and 1,000 years. So that will take you to 11,000 years. So this is making mention from Ezra and Nehemiah. In this Sundara Kanda is making the exact copy of that. So you yourself could do. I have many. I put a few of them there, for the other kandas, other chapters,
but the question was more about Like how you're talking about the timeline with the buildings being constructed and these things. But then in between you have stuff mentioned where with the cannibals and giving clothes and language and things. So
all of that is intertwined. That is the history they present in the timeline.
Yeah, so that's what my question. Yeah. So is a different code to read that, or all?
No. When you're reading, you're reading science, mathematics, and all this formulas and things, you know.
Yeah.
All going in one.
Okay.
Right. Because I'm going to tell you how to understand it. I think I explained that here. Now, remember in the 7 stages here, 7 stages. These are the things you're reading, you know.
Right.
They are paying right through going down. So you will have time. Now, like for instance, I present time. Time this is a sage, you know. That coming with that. The sage now, but the sage is divided into animate and inanimate. Now the animate is Ram. Now they make an entity of 7 sages. So he is the animate. And now he is taking all of these things down, the inanimate objects, which is the inventions. So his inventions are time, the manuscripts, the 12 disciples, we construct the 12 buildings, the 4 yugas, the 3 gunas, the Holy Spirit, and the Om. So he's bringing down that. And so all that is coming in one. So he's giving you the time. What I give you here is to calculate the time. But when you calculate the time, remember this is making what we should say, it is also mentioning or stating what is taking place. Because time cannot tell you what is taking place. Time just gives you 0 to 4,000 years. That's AM, PM coming down. Now, to find out what took place here now, some other sage has to come in. So you will find now what is happening to in the 4 yugas. This is the 4 yugas here. So if you have to know the time now, where is this sage located? You understand? Now, you know that the sage, all this is coming right here, and you must enter the spiritual world, which is the Vedi. It's a little bit confusing. I didn't know it was so confusing. I explain that all the time. Now, the same thing with the 3 gunas. The 3 gunas is 3 formulas. As I explained to you, when you're reading Ram left to go in the forest, you're reading the history now. That Ram is coming here. In this no, it's this one here. This is the forest. This is the 12 billions. And then what's his name? Bharat is coming after. Now they are going to this building. These are live people. But here, what is happening here now? To construct buildings. You see, like for instance, you see people. You don't expect the Christians to highlight anything on this. You see, now to construct this building here and have the 4 corners exact and the top at that height, you need mathematics. You need angles, trigonometry, all this sort of thing. This is what is coming too. So they are taking that. Now that falls under the 3 gunas, which is formulas with angles and whatever it is. All of that fall into that. So everything is coming. The Holy Spirit, which is 54 forms, is they divide it between 7, but it's 378 inventions. Now everything they're carrying, they are discussing their own invention, because you cannot discuss nothing with cannibals. They didn't know anything. All you could teach them how to fish or how to build a house or how to stop eating people and start with animals or whatever it is. But it will take, and it took 12,000 years before they start to do them thing. You understand? So all of these inventions is what they are using. Because to use 3 gunas, you can. Today nobody don't know what is that. Today, because it's all mathematics. You see, then you have the Om sign. Let me see if I have the Om sign here. No. The Om sign giving you 0 to 3. 0 to 3 mean the 4. It is talking about it's coming down with the 4 yugas, and then 0 to 9, meaning the 10 numerals. And you're getting the 10 numerals right here. I explained that on many times. By the time you reach on the 7th Vedi, you must have 6 resurrection and 4 deaths. That is equal to the 10 numerals.
Okay.
Confusion?
No, I'm picking it up a little bit there because I was wondering. Well, first I was wondering if there's different ways of reading the book to see the different things that you mentioned. By looking now, like everything interwoven into a big
everything
story.
intertwined. Everything intertwined. That's what I said. And the last thing I said, once you see one sage, 6 of them is right there.
Yeah.
Because you're traveling with all. You're traveling because all the sages are there at all times.
Yeah.
So this is why you have 378 forms. This is what they call 378 spirits. That the Holy Spirit is coming on. Now it's divided here. Now I see that there are many times they're making statement 4, 3, 2, 1. That is how they have the yugas divided. They are far from understanding what that really means. The 4, 3, 2, 1. This is the two Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga. Satya Yuga comprises of 4. They take 4 sage, and from a Treta Yuga they take 3. So you get 4 and 3 is 7. Right? When you come here, it's split into 2. So what you have there in Dwapara Yuga, this is how you get 2. And when it come down here, you make the book now. So the book is 1. So this is how you get 4, 3, 2, 1 in the 3 yugas.
Okay.
All right?
So you have no fluff.
Like
when you watch the book as big as it's big, everything is part of the one whole big story.
Yeah, well, first you have to understand. This is why nobody understands that. They are talking about a history 12,000 and before. This.
Yeah.
You trying to make sense of it now. This is what they're doing with the Bible here. This is all knowledge talking the same thing. They're making history, Jesus' history from 4th century. Jesus' history here. He visited he went to the festival. It's 12,000 years here, 100 years. That's Ram.
Yeah.
So his history, Jesus here, is this time period, 1 to 12,000 years, 0 to 12,000 years. So them reading that as if it's the 1st century, they have no knowledge on the book. They have no knowledge. This is what I keep saying. They have no knowledge on Bible. These are 2 books they have no knowledge on. And if you try to engage Christian and all, they're running, you know.
Yeah.
Because they have no knowledge on time. This 12 years, Jesus 12 years old is 12,000 years. They have no knowledge on that. You understand?
This thing that you skip out here.
I wanted to make a read on that now. I don't know if I don't have it here, boy. Let me read it from this. I can take it off. This it's good to read this, and particularly in Hindu women, right? Now, when these Romans meet them, right? I don't think probably I didn't print it, but this is 1st century. I probably left it out. In any event, okay, I'll just give it. This is 1st century history, a part of it. Utterly slay the old man and the young man, and the maiden, the little child and the woman, but do not come near anyone on whom is the mark, and you shall begin at my sanctuary. Thus they began with the elders who were before the house, and he said to them, defile the house and fill the courts with the slain. Go forth. And they went forth and struck the people in the city. This now is 4th century history, where the Romans were in India. I made many other remarks on that, and this is to give you an idea. They're killing from aside, you know. Yeah, anybody, they hold people to bring, because that was a food source, you know. The Hindus was a food source, and if you're reading, you will see the metal workers and carpenters, they carry, Because that is construct Rome. You see? All this is 4th century history here. It's written in the Bible. Oh, I think I have it here. Shave women heads. Now, this is in Isaiah 3:16 to 24. Moreover, Jehovah said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk around with outstretched necks and lusting eyes and trip along with quick little steps and rattle the anklets on their feet. The Lord will strike the scalp of the daughters of Zion with scabs. Remove, meaning to scalp them, take off the hair, the scalp too. And Jehovah will expose their secret parts. In that day the Lord will remove the beauty of their anklets, headbands and crescents, the ear pendants, bracelets, costly veils, the headdresses, the ankle chains, the sashes, the bottles of aromas, and the amulets, the finger rings and the nose rings, the formal gowns, the frocks, the wraps, the purses, the mirrors of the fine linen garments, the turbans and the veils. And instead of a sweet smell there will be rottenness. And instead of a belt, an encircling rope, instead of well-set hair, baldness, and instead of fine garments, the girding of oneself with sackcloth, a brand instead of beauty. When stink Roman Catholics and Christians entered India, this is what they did our women. These are stink people that entered India. People must understand that. 1st century, this is what they did to our women. So there are many like that. This is why you see women went underground, and every time you see they take up the food and they go on water. This is a habit they have from then. Yeah. So
there's from the Bible.
Yeah. I put the chapter and the verses there.
Isaiah.
Isaiah, yeah. Right. So this is to give you an idea of these people. Now we have scholars and we have pundits reading this book. They can't read their book. They don't know the dates they have. I can't understand that. I give an example of how to go about, if you're reading Ramcharita Manasa, how to go about reading the 8 chapters. You have what we would call, you have to look for the cardinal points. And one cardinal point, east, west, north or south, refer to 3 buildings. And throughout the Ramcharita Manasa, it is stated so. So you can know which building, your location, where are you in the Middle East or Europe. This is Lanka. People keep on seeing the making statement on Lanka and Lanka. This is Lanka. Forests, the buildings, 12 buildings, they refer to it in this revelation. He has 12 gates, right? And these are the buildings that our ancestors constructed. They can't find who did it. Don't think they don't know. They have all the dates of Bible and Ramcharita Manasa. They have the knowledge of that, you know. The Hindus have no knowledge of their books. So they're watching you, and at this present time, the 1500, they stick at 1500. The cannibals are moving from that, you know. But they're moving and say, well, it's not, wasn't like that, wasn't like. And you trying to fight them to tell them, no, we made everything. You don't have no dates. He give you a date, you know, I mentioned that. He give you a date. You don't have no knowledge that is your dates. So that what can we say? So the whole issue here is that these people have to go back. Go and I keep saying, refrain from teaching Ramcharita Manasa if you have no knowledge on it. You have time, you have places, this is what that is. It has nothing to do with God. God, I made a statement here. What is God? I'll take it off there, but all right. God is divided into 2 categories. The creator and the creation. All these things are the creation here. And each one is God. This is what it means. Now what is there? 2 classifications, God the creator and God creation. Scriptures state creator God is Ram. These scriptures, Bible, Ram is the creator. He's creator God of all inventions. And 2, all inventions created by Ram are gods. So anything that he creates or anything that is mentioned in the Bible are God. What he's telling you, scripture says to worship creator God, Ram. Not creation God inventions. You see? So people making a big error in understanding scriptures. So you will get millions of gods, which was the creation. And the creator, which is Ram, the entity Ram, each one of them is Ram. That is why you see in the when they say, when the sons of God, referring to Hindus, saw that the women were looking attractive, they take them for wives. This is what they did. The Christian reading this, he have no knowledge what he reading, and the Hindu reading this, he have no knowledge what he reading. They have to go back to the 12,000 years and read this book as pre-12,000 years, 12,000 and before. Anytime you dip under that is the construction of the book, which means you come here now. You see, you come here, and from here now the book is constructed here. You see? So these things people must know, and you have dates, you have time. I want to know. Now remember that I am really following or looking for what Max Muller has already 150 years ago. That's not today, you know. And his books, or the books of that Muller and company that constructed, left with the Queen and the church. So they have all that information. And they're looking at you. Them have the dates of all of your events, and they're telling you, you don't even know it is your history they're telling you. They say they come and they give you language and science. You didn't know nothing. You have no date. The historians have no date. He's telling you 1500 years. You still have no date. You don't know. What 15? What 15? No. We start Where's your date? He's laughing at you. You understand? This is what I'm saying. Know what your time. If you don't have time, you have nothing. And listen carefully. If I tell you something, you go on that internet and see the amount of people talking about that Aryan invasion. Not one of them have any dates. Now the person who present the Aryan invasion now, which is the church and the Queen and them there now, they're only watching you. They're dancing around you with dates. Them have the dates fixed. They're moving a book. They're not moving that book. That is exact dates the Hindus came back to India. Started to come back. It's a continuous process, but they put it as a main time when the Hindus came back to India. You see? So you have history. Them don't have any. Them have your history now. Their whole history based on that thing, you know. And you didn't know nothing. This is how them put it now. So the history being taught there now is we from the steppe people from Europe came and teach you. You didn't know anything. And what we pundits reading and what the historian reading, this is why I made this statement. And this is why I said Dharma and Dhamma. If you cannot read that and present our history right, you are a dumb person. You are classified as dumb. And if you leave that to come to this one, it's the same thing, you're dumb now. Because you don't know that one and you're pretending to know this one. You see? So these things, so the wise classification of these people is who have the history and know the history. You have the history and you don't know the history. You see? So I think I made myself clear there. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was clear.
Yeah.
I didn't leave any too much questions. The main thing was about the stuff that you left out, and if it will be in between.
Yeah. Everything coming down. Because you cannot construct a building, you start to construct a building, and you don't have the gunas, which means the formulas. All right? You cannot construct a building if you don't have the Holy Spirit. Because the Holy Spirit is the invention you're taken from, that you invented in India. You're carrying, like for instance, your tools or any medical equipment. If you cannot, you have to have that there, present.
Yeah.
Because people falling down and getting injured and all these things you have to take into consideration. And then the Om sign, you must know. The 0 to 3, you are referring to these 4 yugas. And 4 heavens and 4 yugas. And the numerals. You must know how to calculate numerals. You see? Because not everybody went there was highly educated, you know. They stated so. So they classify you, they put different books for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So to teach somebody, well, to nail this or to put up this or to cut the rock in that, they have to teach you. They have to teach you. Because the qualified ones are there to teach you. So they carry that all, and they refer to that as 7 sages. You see? And everyone now is manuscripts. Everything they do, they write it down. We have books written from 13,500 BC. Manuscripts. They must be rotten in or something. Nobody cannot read it. They have no knowledge. What is it? You understand? This is where the problem is. You understand? There's cannibals and them come by 1500 BC or 12,000 years. They now start to put on some clothes, or they now starting to look, and the Hindus say they're showing some signs of learning. Bible have that. Ramcharita, Manasa have that. The Hindus take up the name Brahman like if it's a highfalutin name. Brahmans is cannibals.
Okay.
So, in other words, that alone is to tell you, the pundits and them looking for rank. Our ancestors didn't teach no rank. You understand? They didn't teach. Everybody was equal. This is why I said the reading like it was war in the Mahabharata and the Bible and everything. The war going on. It is not. The war is to put up buildings, playing games and all this. That is war. They did not have no war in those days. Right? They're telling you time of peace. They're telling you that. Yeah. The time of war and battle is when these cannibals come on the scene. Both Christians and Muslims. And start to destroy India. That is when war starts. So they didn't have no wars previous to that. Hindus were, so to tell you these everybody, if you read our history well, you'll see children, young youth leaving quite south of India to go quite north of India, Nalanda and Taxila and them universities. How do you think they're going? They're walking. You know what thousands of miles of that? How are they going to survive? But every place they reach and they're tired, they just stop by a house. They're giving you food, clothes, everything. You understand? To continue. And you continue in your journey and you go. This is how the Hindus were dedicated to studying. They didn't have nobody. The only thing you have to watch for is any wild animal. You understand? But other than that, everybody take care of everybody. This is why you see when they came, they were instructed to build temples. Temples mean the Guru school system, you know. For people to learn, you know. And if an area does not have a Guru school or a temple, people move out. You must have, this is why you see they have thousands and thousands of temples. Up to this present time, the Muslims have 44,000 temples. What them doing with that? They teach you how to build a building. You can't build a building. Eh? You have to teach the people the Hindu building and claim Allah came there or Muhammad and what them take is. The same thing what they call it, the doctrine of discovery. The church do. You understand? So he make his own dates, he make his own time, and he come and he declare that is his own. And that's it. So the times have changed now, and we scholars are behind time because they don't know time. If you upon the teaching this, and he can present a time when that occurred, you're wasting people time. You must be able to present a time. You understand? Otherwise, when you go in court and you have to refer to an accident or anything that happened, first thing, what time it happened? What date? What year? What are we talking about? Yeah. If you don't know, you're not, that's the catastrophe. We're doing that, we're practicing it here, but you teaching here and you have a crowd of people you teaching. And not one I want to start. What year that happened, Babaji? What year? Not one. It means that they so trust this pundit to teach them. And they're picking it up. And what you're picking up? So they must go back and study the book. Refrain from teaching people on this Ramcharita Manasa. Get your education. I'll give you eight chapters. What it means, east, west, north, and south, and they are talking about construction of these 12 buildings. There's millions of buildings they made, but choose 12 buildings as Lanka or Kingdom of Him. Read your book well. I talk about when Ram shoot an arrow, is a building, meaning construct a building.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you check, you'll see hundreds of thousands, millions, all kind of things there. These cannibals didn't know nothing to put up a building, you know. They were living in caves, you know. They had no knowledge of putting up buildings, you know. This reflected in Ramcharita, Manasa and the Bible. You understand? So I don't know them claiming they built. Listen carefully. You think? Look at this building here. It's for people to go and check on it. Baalbek and this is Petra. Go and check them temples in India and see they cut down them mountains and thing and make temples. Is that not the same thing? This is in Petra. The other one. The only people with that engineering or that science are Hindus. These Roman Catholics and were dumb people. They could make, and they call it Roman columns. Roman columns. Yeah. These are Hindu columns. Yeah. They put on some foundation stone there. All 1,000 tons. They're trying to figure out how they move them thing. They're trying to figure out, and doing like some space people come to do that. These are Hindu works of the Hindus. Get your history right and give the dates and thing when Baalbek is in East Damascus, Lebanon. And the name of the buildings, the 3 buildings there, we want to have it. All right. I put what is in the book. But you see they're changing the names, eh? So you could look at Kols, Kiritas, and Shudra in Lavakusha Kanda. That is what it means here. You understand? So you could choose any one of the 3. They have the 3 of them there, you know. I think it's they call them Baalbek and Bacchus and Jupiter. So presently that is the name they have now. Yeah. So our ancestors, this is what we did. A pundit went to Saudi Arabia there. He went to Saudi Arabia. Why you take them to the Kaaba? The Kaaba is a Hindu construction. That is a Hindu construction. Petra. This is Petra I just showed here. The Jerusalem temple that they have right now, they in the Romans destroyed the top part. They rebuilt it. That's what was his name? King. What's his name? Herod. Herod did that. So you have to know your history, and the history is in here. We have people teaching, dumb people teaching we. Both historians and pundits. If I tell you something I don't know, you could imagine. Look at 8 chapters there. Any pundit ever refer to anything like? They even know where Lanka is. They have no knowledge. They give you east, west, north, and south. They know they're telling you where it's going. Where is that? So no, that is why they just open the Ramcharita Manasa and put a small book inside there and teaching you from that. You don't see that? This is what they do because they have no knowledge on that, and the people of India don't have no knowledge on that neither. You know, they don't know. Let me tell you something. They have no knowledge. These 12 buildings that you see there in Europe standing now have any connection with Hindus, but your whole history is based on that. All right, so what question you have? You have any question there that everyone is testy, you know, and is putting pressure back. They have to get to learn. And I made it very clear. I give an idea of what this Ram. They have 8 chapters. I present a brief of each chapter. Right?
Well, unfortunately, we out of time. So.
All right.
But for people who want to know more, well, the number is on the screen. Mr. Lalchan Rampersad is always willing to discuss
all the time
on the topic. And his YouTube channel, I think it's Lalchan Rampersad is the name of the channel.
The YouTube channel?
Yeah.
No, like the Great Bible Fraud.
Great Bible Fraud. Okay. So, and the Great Bible Fraud on YouTube, that's Mr. Lalchan Rampersad. We have the videos, the previous videos, plus he have other videos that he did before, and there's there as well, explaining all these things, and some topics that we covered years ago as well, chessboard and these kind.
Yeah.
So once again, thank you for being here.
Thanks very much.
And it's a lot of information, but I'm always glad to hear and try to process some of this new stuff that I hear.
Well, all right. Every time is something new, and I hope that in this analysis here that they should understand, just understand what we scriptures are. Read the scripture to suit. That is literal history. Remember, I keep saying that all the time. All they are teaching here is spiritual world that have nothing. That's wasting people's time. Yeah. That is when you want to kill time and you want to use up time, you talk a story. When you have little children to have a story. This is not for this time. Have a set of big people there and you teaching stories. I don't know when they will learn. Yeah. And they're serious about it as if it's something real. I don't know. The pundit know he's teaching something that is impossible. He know that. But somehow, like he getting joy. I see one of them look like they all to only interfere with women emotions. Only sad stories. This is not time for that. If we want the children and the generation to prosper and move forward, learn. Go and study a book. And this example of going to the Ramcharita, you don't have to read from a side. You read what you see, you're looking for north, south, you're looking for just pick up on that. And you will start to see all them little things in the way. And every one of them is coming down. So a simple way. Okay, thanks very much.
All right, no problem.
Yeah.
Sankhya Television, the first Hindu TV station in Trinidad and Tobago, and your number one choice for cultural, inspirational, and spiritual programming, is not only available locally in Trinidad and Tobago, but also internationally via the Sankhya TV website. International viewers can visit sankhyatv.com and view our live stream 24/7.